On this week's episode of Midnight Hollow, sex with aliens? Can you impregnate an alien? We will find out. Elyse Lam? Was she just psychotic? Or was she taken over by a ghostly power from above or beyond? We will find out on Midnight Hollow.
If you are looking for a dead serious podcast filled with dry, humorless people, you are in the wrong place. This is Midnight Hollow, and we will dive into some weird, creepy, and paranormal things with a twist of humor, bad puns, and a whole lot of laughs. So sit back and enjoy the podcast. We have other news stories too, but yes. Thank you very much.
Sorry,
that was a great intro.
I forgot the other ones.
No, that was a great intro. All right, so yes, welcome to the second episode of Midnight Hollow's podcast, paranormal podcast, where we talk about just about anything. Doesn't even necessarily have to be paranormal, just got to be fucking weird. So,
Amen.
I like that.
So we have three hosts today. It's me, Jay Zippo. We also have, and who did a wonderful intro, DishyDo. DishyDo, say hi.
What up, what up?
Okay, say what up. Or you can say hi.
What up?
Okay. And then we have Simmer.
Hello.
That's her stage name. You can catch her at the
Wow,
the
that
Cheetah
escalated
thing,
quickly.
Friday through Sunday.
Cheetah Gentleman Club.
Bring 20s.
20s?
20s. Hell yeah. Make
Hundreds.
it bring 20. Okay, hundreds.
She's worth more than that.
Thank you, DishyDo. I
And-
appreciate that.
And with,
Okay.
as DishyDo mentioned, starting off, we are going to be talking about Elyse. I always pronounce her name wrong. It's Elyse Lam, right?
Elisa. It's E-L-I-S-A, but you say the E like an A.
Okay.
Elisa. Yeah.
Elyse, okay. Elyse Lam and her weird ass story with tons and tons of information. We're going to try and compact it into about 15 to 20 minutes. And then we got a few news stories, and yes, one of them is about
Getting freaky with an extraterrestrial creature.
I thought you were going to get into
See,
your
that
deep
was
voice
like-
again.
With it. Na, na,
That
na,
was
na,
like
na,
half
na.
super polite, half really raunchy, and I really enjoyed it.
All right, so let's start off with Elyse Lam. Did you want to give us the roundabout there, Dishy-Do, or did you want me to?
I feel like you should.
All right. A while ago, though, I did write an article on Midnight Hollow in regards to this. Chuddy turned me on to the story. I mean, I kind of heard it before, but I never really paid any attention to it till he kind of turned me on to it. And it is
Phrasing.
it's really weird. So the premise of it is there is this younger woman, and she was traveling the United States on the cheap, essentially. And she would always be contacting her parents, who I believe are in Vancouver.
Mm-hmm.
Canada.
She went to school. She was a college student in Vancouver.
Okay.
Yeah, and then she was traveling by herself, and yeah.
Just, exploring the United States. And it comes to L.A. And why she picked a seedy hotel, which is in a really bad neighborhood, and it doesn't have a very good reputation, but she chose this hotel. So she stayed there for a night. So from what I gathered, I guess she went to a gift shop. She called her parents. Then the weird shit started happening.
Wait, we have to give we gotta set the scene for the hotel.
That's true. Now, I'll let you do that because I know that you were, and it's kind of an important fact in this.
I think it's important because a lot of weird, freaky shit has happened at that hotel. It's like located next to Skid Row. It's in a bad part of downtown LA. There's been night stalkers reported, weird activity outside with homeless people. But not only that, on top of all that, Richard Ramirez, the night stalker, actually, that's who I was talking about, who stayed there in the 80s. I guess he lived on the 14th floor for a while, and he killed 14 people. And no one knew. Like, no one suspected a thing. He got away with all that.
Define people.
I'm going to say women primarily. He probably just lured women up there.
Yeah, freaks like to do that.
Okay.
But
I was
I
gonna make
can't get laid, and this guy's killing women in his hotel room.
I mean, there's been other guys that...
That's terrible.
But he's the most well-known serial killer who's lived in that hotel.
Right. And he was dubbed the Nightcrawler, correct?
Stalker.
Night
Stalker, that's right,
Yeah.
okay.
But it's just, like, interesting because when you sent us the story earlier, like, months ago or whenever it was, I didn't realize where it was taking place. I just thought this was, like, a newer... I thought it was, like, something like the Marriott or, like, the Hilton or, like,
Definitely
okay,
not.
this is really weird. And then,
Definitely
like, I
not.
actually looked at pictures of the hotel. I'm like, this is some, like,
Horror.
haunted mansion, like, freaking...
Beginning of a horror film type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, like DishyDo said, it's not a great place and it has a bad history.
I feel
And
uncomfortable with you calling
what
me DishyDo.
my idea is, like, I don't think she knew that.
Okay.
Like she's on the cheap, so
Yeah.
she was just like, okay, this is cheap, whatever. She didn't really, not like she researched it or anything. So that's when the weird shit started to happen.
Mistake number 1.
Yes.
Always do your research.
Well, she's a girl, so.
Wow.
I'll stir the pot. Okay, so the weird stuff started to happen.
I'm
On
sorry, I
this
can't get
week's
over this.
episode of Sexist Asshole.
Hi.
I'm just kidding. You're good people.
Hi, my name is Nick Stutzman. Anyways,
Oh god.
Shots fired.
so before we get into, like, the weird stuff, the end game, so people know where this all leads to and why we're talking about it. Because,
Okay, Taylor Swift.
why am I Taylor Swift?
I wanna be
Your
your
end game.
I didn't know that existed. Is that the song she sounds like she's orgasming?
Probably. I
Yeah,
don't know.
it's a real, like, wispy, like, whispery, like, yeah.
What's it like?
That was a terrible Taylor Swift
You
rendition.
do better.
No, I'm tone deaf, man. I was raised by
okay,
deaf people.
okay.
I can't.
So
hear
the
it,
end game, sans Taylor Swift, is she was found dead in a water tank above the hotel that we are talking about.
Ugh. I'm sorry. It still
So,
makes my skin crawl.
and it wasn't like quickly too. How long was it? Like weeks?
Weeks, I think.
Yeah.
Let me pull it
Well,
up.
I thought it was, like, 2 weeks.
Like 2 weeks, and evidently the water started tasting bad. Yeah, it's gonna taste bad when there's someone dead floating in it. So that's the end game, and the reason why I want to talk about the end game first is because if we start talking about
Every time you say that, can you get, like, some kind of, like, on your
no,
production...
No.
Yeah, like a button where you press it and it's just her going, I want to be your end game.
I can do that in post, but not during the.
I think you should. We need to highlight this.
That
Like,
would be
she's-
amazing.
But I just don't want to get copyright strike. So
Like, Taylor Swift permeates every aspect of any type of anything in pop culture. Like,
that's sad.
She just makes
6
her way
degrees of
into-
separation.
yeah, she makes her way into any conversation. It doesn't matter what it is.
It's like Kanye.
Anyway, so the end game. I wanted to say the end game because talking about the weird stuff before the end game, people are like, well, why are we even talking about this? Now you know, because she was found dead. Then everything started to come to light once that happened. So the first thing that we probably talk about, which is the most talked about thing, is the elevator. There's lots of other information in regards to it, but this is definitely the thing that's really sparked everyone's interest. So in the elevator, she walks in, and to start it off, they actually didn't get the full footage.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was
Didn't you say there was like a minute cut out of it or something?
like a minute cut out
We
before
don't know
police got it, and that's the thing. They don't know if the police got the full footage and cut it out, or if they received that. I didn't.
Cut out already.
It was cut out already.
Probably. I think it was. I don't know. Honestly, that stumps me. I don't.
And
Well,
it's-
I feel like if someone in the hotel was like trying to cover it up, they would have just destroyed the tape, period. You know what I mean? They wouldn't have taken the time to meticulously cut out a certain section.
Yeah,
That's
I
a
don't
good
see
point,
someone
too.
doing that.
That's a good point too. Like I was thinking that's the reason why they would cut it out. Like, ooh, I better get my face out of there because they might.
But why not just destroy the whole thing?
What if,
Agreed.
okay, so here's my crazy outlandish idea. What if this is an elaborate scheme she's planned?
I love elaborate schemes.
Like, she just planned to commit suicide. She planned this all out. She paid someone at the hotel to do this for her. What if that was, I mean, I see what you're saying, but, like, honestly, all her social media posts leading up to this, why would she say on Tumblr, I hope I don't meet a creeper while I'm traveling, or whatever she said. Like, oh, I hope I don't encounter a creeper. Why would she say stuff like that? It's almost like she's like living her own death fantasy. Like she's plotting her own death, and she's living it through like the lens of like as if someone's sitting in a seat watching a movie.
Okay, but again, I've never met this girl, but
She's really
some people
interesting.
like have word vomit on social media. Like, having never met her, maybe she's just one of those people who like tweets what she thinks like all the time, and like uses Tumblr and Facebook and all those outlets.
I know a few people like that.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe she was just
That could
nervous. That maybe because she was traveling on her own, maybe she was just like voicing concerns. You know what I mean?
But it's a valid point because there's all these things. It's not just one or two things. There's like 10, 12, 15 weird things. Like she tweeted that stuff or put it on social media. She did a weird thing in the elevator where she walked in and call it the elevator game.
Yeah, can you explain that? I've never played the elevator game.
I've never heard of it until this story. What it is I don't know the exact way of doing it, but you're supposed to walk into the elevator and hit the 4th floor. You go to the 4th floor, you let the door open, let it close, then you hit the 14th floor. So obviously it's got to be more than 14 floors. You hit the 14th floor, and then once it reaches there and opens up the door, then that's where you have to hit like a certain sequence. And by the end of the sequence, there's going to be a little dead girl in the
Oh, why would anyone want to play that
elevator
game?
thing with you? And then you can, if you talk to her and walk out, you go somewhere else. You go into another dimension or some weird shit like that. But if you ignore her and walk out, you're fine. But see, I've heard about it a couple times. Everyone had a different thing behind it. Some say you go to a different dimension. Others you just see a little girl. Others.
It's very bizarre. I wonder what the origins of that are. Like, how did that even...
I've never even heard of this. I thought the elevator game was just like pressing all the buttons.
Yeah, like...
That's just being a dick.
Like Ding Dong Ditch or something. Like going door to door and ringing a doorbell and running away type thing. That's what I thought it was.
No, it's some real supernatural thing that, it's kind of like a Bloody Mary type of thing, I guess.
Anyone want to play that game?
So
it's terrible.
The elevator
feel like
thing
we can
is...
rule that out.
Right. I'm going to rule that out, but that doesn't explain what she was doing, because she wasn't going one by one. She was picking different, while she was hitting the thing, she was picking different stuff. She wasn't like going right down the line of all the buttons on the elevator. She was doing all different. So that's the thing, like, what was she doing? And people say, oh, she was being chased. Well, people being chased don't put their hands in their pocket and lean against a door or lean against the wall. They just don't. So that, I don't think she's being chased either. What was she doing there? Besides maybe having a psychotic episode because she hasn't taken her meds.
Right, which that's a little debate. That's debatable too, because some reports say she didn't have her bipolar medicine. She wasn't tested for that, right? Or she couldn't be tested for it or something like...
It was too long, and she was like in water that had something to do with it because her body was saturated type of stuff. Like a lot of the stuff they usually test for can't.
Oh, it said, you know what it said? The toxicology report stated that there was a limited blood sample to test for whether or not...
Yeah, but I mean, there's like tissue and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I don't know.
But she was floating in a water tank for over 2 weeks.
That's true.
I don't know what I'm not going to surmise.
Speaking of floating in a water tank, can we discuss that they had dogs in the hotel trying to find her, and the dogs couldn't smell them in the water tank? I don't know if maybe the tank was like lined with something.
It's a big metal, huge tank, like super thick.
I don't know. Like I have a pointer. He can smell almost anything.
I got a pointer too.
Oh, gross. You're disgusting.
But anyways, so
this week's episode of Sucks This Asshole. Hi, Nick.
My name is Nick Sutzman.
You guys are terrible.
But did you want to say anything more about the elevator thing? I think the best way is just watch it. It will be on the
I want to tell
podcast.
Here's my explanation of her odd behavior on the elevator. I think she was checking to make sure no one was around. She pressed the elevator door numbers to stall. So she's just basically biding time. And then she's having this weird, abnormal internal monologue with herself. Like, clearly she's a little, like, nervous, but body experts... Did you watch any tape on that? Like,
I watched the body expert
experts
one, yep.
explaining... Saying she's being, like, real flirtatious and playful, and, like, her movements are characteristic of someone who is, like, nervous, like, is...
Maybe she's talking at herself. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes people think aloud.
Yeah, I think she was... When I mean internal monologue, I think she was showing with her hand what she was thinking.
Right.
She's probably talking out loud. That's what they said.
Yeah, the 2 points, though. One is when she initially hit the, close the door button, it stopped. The door went to close, and it didn't close. It stopped and went back. And they say the one theory is someone was outside hitting the button. You know, when you can hit up or down or whatever, someone was hitting a button to keep it open. I don't know where or how that could be, but she does hit the button. It does go to close. It stops and open, like someone hitting a button to open it back up again.
Didn't they have cameras outside in the hallway?
Nope.
The hallways were supremely narrow.
Yeah,
like they were super narrow. They didn't have a camera. Like,
nope.
They don't. Okay, so
I think we're lucky they had a camera in the damn elevator.
Yeah, that's weird.
But
is it true though that when she stepped out, people are saying she stepped out and fixed her hair because there was a mirror on the opposite side of her, on the other side of the wall?
I don't know that.
Okay, so one of the videos I watched, they showed the hallway and there was a mirror across from the elevator. So they're saying that she stepped out when she did that little shuffle move. Mm-hmm. She stepped out and she was out there for a while because she was like playing with her hair or something and looking in the mirror.
And you can see her mouth move. She was talking to, well, either nobody or she was talking. So whether someone was there or not, it's a whole other story because we'll never know. But
I honestly think she was off her medication, and I know you don't want to believe in the whole suicide attempt thing, but I feel like she was biding time. She didn't know she should go through with it. I think she was going to hurl herself off of the roof. She found someone to help her do whatever she did. She crawled in there, had someone close it. I don't know. Either that or she had a one-night stand because they found traces of blood in unmentionable places, and
her bumhole,
which would have been suggestive of consensual sex, pretty much, is what they said. Either that or she had a one-night stand with a dude and something happened.
And maybe the dude was married and didn't want anyone to know about it. And it had to be someone who would work there. It had to be. It couldn't be just some random, because there's no way they would have found their way to knew the code, got out there, knew enough, had the key to unlock the door for the big tank.
They could have pickpocketed someone in the hotel. I'm not saying know the code, but like if it was a swipe.
That could happen too.
No, it's a code. You have to know the
code.
It's a code. It was not a swipe. It's a code.
Oh.
Yep, it's definitely a code.
Well, maybe someone knew a guy who worked there.
They change it like once a month or something like that. So that's it's like there's...
What if she
I'm not saying that's not a bad...
Okay, so there were only 2 points of entry leading towards the roof of the hotel, right?
Yeah, there's one on the other side and then the one that's right by the
fire
tank.
Escape and is it a stairway?
Yeah, it's a fire thing. You go all the way down though. Whoop.
Okay, what if she got up there and like... So there's no way she could have gone up there without the passcode?
Right.
Were there any cameras like in the hallway going to the roof or no?
No.
That seems like very poor security.
Yeah, well, this place is not...
Don't stay at that hotel, folks. Yeah. Please.
But...
I wonder how much rooms were.
They were probably like...
Dirt cheap.
She was traveling on the cheap.
Yeah, but why not stay in a hostel? You know what I mean? Like, you could probably stay in a hostel for, like, decent, like, a better area.
Who knows?
Didn't do her research.
No, she didn't do her research.
Mistake number 1.
But...
Another thing, she wasn't wearing her glasses.
Right.
I mean, that's just a minor detail. Never mind.
She
that
also
doesn't really, like, mean anything. Oh, let's talk about her clothing.
Though. Yeah, like, let's talk about the contents of the tank. Like, what they found in the tank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Men's shorts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's weird.
Yep, only one shoe.
One shoe, her key, right? Her key fob or whatever it was for her hotel room.
Yep. And she was half dressed. She was kind of dressed. Correct? Or was she nude?
I think she was nude.
I honestly don't remember.
But I know that is just like odd stuff in the tank itself. So the reason why, now me and DishyDo talked about this today, and the reason why I'm not a huge
Can
fan.
I call you Jay Zippo, Hungry Hippo?
If you want, I got the gut to support it.
Oh,
not like that.
self-burn.
I
Nice.
just like the game, Hungry
It
Hippos.
is a fun game. But the reason why I don't think it's a suicide is because, number one, trying to get onto the roof would be a nightmare trying to figure it out. Now, she would have to at least understand that that's where she would go to get there. From what they were saying is that she would have to find a way to climb up to the top of the tank. The door that's on the top of the tank is extremely heavy. It took 2 firemen to open it up. So she might have been able to, like, with all her might, to open up, possibly. I'll go that far. But it was locked. It was chained. So she would have to have a key to open it up.
Or bolt cutters.
They didn't, nothing, when they had to unlock the door to get in.
Interesting.
So that's why this is all, like, weird shit. So that's why I think DishyDo is right at about 75% that it's definitely someone. It had to be someone there doing something because they would have access to all that stuff.
Okay, but here's the thing. If it was someone at the hotel, why would they not cover their tracks better? Like, let me just throw her in the water supply. You think they're not going to find that?
But see, that's the interesting thing about this. Why? Why the hell would they do that?
At the same time that her body was discovered, there were 2 other instances, I think, in California where there were women found in water tanks of hotels. Isn't that kind of freaky?
Oh,
What if
that
he
is
moved?
nuts.
Oh, wait, one was out of state. I don't know. I don't remember which state it was, but what if it was a dude?
And he
or
kept going
someone
from...
Why do you assume it's a dude? It could be a chick.
It's a dude.
You
And
don't
then
know.
the last thing about the water
we
tank is, once you're inside of
Let's
it,
be non-binary.
Yeah.
once you're inside the tank, it is impossible to close the door on yourself. You can't
This is
do
what
it.
I
Even if it
wrestle
was
with.
super light, you couldn't.
But this is what I wrestle with. Like, this
Couldn't
is the
close
fact
it.
I wrestle with this case. Like, how can we? Is there tape, YouTube video of someone physically opening that door? Like the 2, like you said, the fire department, the 2 firefighters, were they pictured opening the door? Like, we're just
It was in a story, but I don't know if it was actually pictured.
There's got to be people who have went back there to, like, investigate that.
Um,
Did they try to open the door by themselves?
Well, I don't know. That's investigate. I'm sure, like, all the, like, people like us, like, hey, let's go there and let's see what we can find. They're not going to let you on the roof. They're not going to let you do anything like that. So if it was investigated, it had to be by authorities, and I doubt we'll ever get any of that information.
Well, god damn it, Jay.
So we're going to wrap up this thing because there's tons we can still talk about, but we're going to do a rapid fire here. 2 minutes
I feel
each.
like this needs to be a 2-parter.
No, because I have an idea for our next episode. It's going to be fun. I'm going to be naked.
Ew!
Oh,
No one
what?
wants to
Why
see that.
ew? Oh, son of a bitch. That ain't going to work.
Okay, you know who it was really quickly? I know you're going to wrap it up. Mexican actress Carmen Yahuira Esparza Norwegia.
Gesundheit. Yeah.
It was found in a water tank in February of 2013.
No, that's not far
She
from
was
that one.
found, in Mexico. And they're saying California and Mexico are in close proximity.
Right.
They
So
are.
they think the non-binary person.
The person.
The person moved from one location to another.
So, quick fire. 2 minutes.
Go.
Give me... DishyDo, you go first. What happened? If you would say this definitely happened, what is it?
I think she had a one-night stand with an employee of the hotel, and I really think she wanted to still end her own life. I'm not discounting the whole suicidal attempt in all of this. Like, I think someone helped her carry this
Assisted
out.
suicide, yeah.
Led her to the roof and did this. Like, okay, I'll do this for you. I don't know. Like, I don't know.
Okay.
That's what I think. Someone was there. She wanted to kill herself. I don't think someone threw her in there. I think she willingly went in there. So.
Okay.
And I think she was off her meds.
Yeah. I'll go with
That
for
obviously
sure.
had a factor in all of this. So, yeah. I mean, I really don't know, to be honest.
That's what makes it
I just
so
think
good.
Yeah.
Well, it's not good that she died, but
We didn't even mention the sex predator or the pedophile. The registered sex offender. I know, but there was a dude in the hotel that was interviewed, and he was all gung-ho about going on CNN and, like, being interviewed about this. And he was, like, the first one to be like, oh, I'll talk to you about it. Like, I live there. Weird.
yeah. Like he wanted to get caught or something and be famous.
I don't know.
Anna?
Everyone wants their 15 minutes of fame, first of all. But I think it was murder most foul.
And the murder most foul.
Yeah.
And
I can't
how
really
did
say
it go
the way
down? How do you
should be.
think it went down?
I think, okay, so when she did that weird side shuffle, like, I think she was maybe talking herself up for a date or something, and then it just went horribly, horribly wrong.
Like she was going to go meet someone and she was nervous.
Yep.
And that's why she was biding time.
Oh, shit. We're connecting the dots.
Because maybe she was supposed to meet him in the lobby, and she didn't want to, like, show up, like, super early and be a creep, but she was nervous.
Yeah.
So she stepped out, fixed her hair, kept pressing, like, random floor buttons to make it go up and down, and then maybe they did the nasty. Maybe. I don't know.
In
And
the
then
butt.
So we think this is...
She did the
Jesus
nasty in the
Christ.
butt.
Don't bring up butt stuff.
Well, she had butt stuff in her butt.
Okay. That makes sense. Pre-date.
Mm-hmm.
Pre-meetup.
pre-date jitters, man. We've all had them.
We were talking like it
was
was something
post.
that was post.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because of the men's clothing. That's what I don't get. Like, is she known for wearing... I mean, a lot of girls wear men's basketball shorts.
Right. Yeah. Especially
Were
like
they, like,
out of bed or something, still on shorts or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah. I don't know. That's side.
No, that makes sense.
That's
It's connecting your
something
theory
I didn't
with
think.
mine and a little bit of yours. What do you think?
Well, mine's kind of a combination of both, but I like the direction that Anna Sizzle. Wait, Simmer.
Sizzle.
Sazzle. That it was a pre, not a post, because I figured she was on her way to being killed. Like that. That's it. In my head, after the elevator, someone killed her and she got thrown in the tank.
No, maybe the person was also staying in the hotel and got on the elevator with her, and that's why that whole chunk of footage is, like, gone.
Mine is a little more gruesome.
Oh,
I feel
God.
like
Okay.
because it's a nasty place, there's nasty people there. People that work there gang raped her. That's why she had butt stuff, to put it nicely. And to cover their tracks, they all work there, so they knew how to get there. They can easily open stuff up together. There's more than one person. Throw her in and close it. Now, I'm going to go back to your point, DishyDo. Why the fuck are you putting her in a tank on top of a hotel that you know someone's going to eventually find?
Here's my thing, though. If they were all working together, there's probably, like, a delivery truck or something out of the hotel. So say there were, like, a couple people not involved, like upper management. Like, why would you not have them distract them so you could, like, smuggle whoever out and then just dump them in the river?
Yeah. Why is it unless it's just a frantic, like, last minute, like, we got to get rid of her.
I think it was...
Throw it into the water and the dogs can't smell her. So,
I think that depends on the metal, though.
well, so that's our 3 theories of it, and we'll have more information on midnighthollow.com. And
Midnight Hollow.
so, and
Sorry.
because I want to try and keep these around 30 to 35 minutes, so we're getting close. So we got 3 news stories for you.
Phrasing.
So we got 3 news stories for you. The first one is ghost caught on CCTV is terrifying a family in their home.
What's CCTV? Sorry.
It's security footage.
Oh.
And all it is that I guess it's been going on for a while, and they finally got some security footage of it. And I don't know if it really proves it, but it is kind of freaky in the things that have been happening to them. Now, I could probably go through every month and find 5 stories like this throughout the thing. And I just wanted to have something like this so people can
We skipped to
click
the
on.
alien sex.
We're going to get to that. And this is the reason why I'm saying, like, we just talked a little bit about it, but just go to the site. Go to the site, midnighthollow.com. You'll see the podcast thing. Click on it and you can watch it, and we'll have a little bit of information and links out to other stories. The other story that we wanted to talk about is a triangle UFO, the best evidence of alien life ever, supposedly, allegedly.
Where was that?
Of course, it was in the UK. Why not? But I would have had this up earlier, but my email is wicked janky.
You an email today, man.
Yeah, don't even get me started. Email. I'm ready to.
There we go. Zippo going off on a tangent.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's another
You sounded
story.
like the Grinch.
This is not the first time we've talked about the Grinch today.
either. Yeah, that's kind of weird.
No.
This is
The
weird.
Jim Carrey.
Yes.
He's never seen it.
No.
Dude,
I've seen the original Grinch a
I
million
love
times.
talking about Baby Grinch all day.
Oh,
Little
Baby Grinch is life.
When he eats the ornament.
Santa, go bye-bye.
Or he eats the ceramic Santa plate, yeah. Bye-bye.
You really
So,
need to watch it, dude. It's such a good
We'll
movie.
have a link to this other triangle UFO and then also Baby Grinch. And you can judge for yourself. I'm going to have polls on these as well so people can say, yeah, no, this is bullshit, or hey, this is pretty legit. Now, the story we really want to talk about, the last news story. Now, this is breaking news. This is very, very important news. So there's this dude. I'm going to call him a dude because why not?
Okay.
Well, it says guy in the article, so I think that's safe.
Yeah. Yeah, he thinks he had sex with aliens, and he's like fucking Leonardo da Vinci painting his escapades with these alien broads.
Oh, I didn't know he was a painter.
Oh, he's painting them, yeah. Guy paints the...
Oh, shit.
And it's just funny,
It's pretty,
the phone
graphic.
loads twice as fast as our internet back here. That's fantastic. Honestly, if you look at the dude, he doesn't look like a guy who would be doing this kind of thing. He's just like an old grandpa who, you know, kind of feeds the pigeons in the
He
park.
reminds me of Edward Gorey.
I think he looks exactly like the type of person that would paint this.
So yeah, there's I like some of them. He like clothes the aliens. Like
Maybe they were wearing
Are
clothes.
those nipples or alien
They're
eyeballs?
eyeballs.
they could be. They're alien.
I
We
thought
don't know. They
were
could be
celest-
nipples.
Okay, but here's the thing.
And her
He
eyes
has,
could be in her
he has a
shirt.
painting of one that's naked, and the
Or
nipples do not
celestial like
look
spheres
like
of like boobs.
I'm pretty
spheres.
sure they're eyeballs.
And there's also ones you can see where it looks like it's just a big old orgy, and they're
Can I
taking them on.
Is that one on there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
it's-
think so.
And they're all in these like jumpsuits.
Oh wow.
So yeah,
I just
thought
think he
I want
has-
thoughts here. We got. I'm gonna
Let's
talk.
leave this one for last because it's the most exciting.
It is the last.
Okay,
This
good.
is it.
So here we go. Losing your virginity is supposed to be memorable. Most people look back on the act with affection and probably a little embarrassment. Huh. But David Huggins says the first time he had sex was more out of this world than most. When I was 17, I lost my virginity to a female extraterrestrial. The 74-year-old says in a documentary about him. There's a documentary about this?
Oh,
You
yeah.
gotta
Love
be
and
kidding me.
saucers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Love
we're
and
gonna
Saucers.
Called Love and
We better watch this, man. Oh my god, it has a website.
Love and Saucers.
It has a
I
website.
love my saucer spicy.
That's all I can say about it right now. I gotta go.
It's available on YouTube.
You sound like
Yeah.
a toothless Forrest Gump.
I gotta go watch Daytona.
Okay, the guy's
500.
from Georgia, first of all.
Okay, so I am sounding correct. I gotta watch Daytona 500 and wash my windows and the coitus in question. Wonderful line there. The coitus in question allegedly went down in 1961 when free love. When Huggins was a teenager living on his parents' farm in rural
Georgia.
I'm channeling him right now. Georgia. It wasn't the first time extraterrestrials had appeared to him. He'd been seeing strange creatures since he was 8. But on this day, as he was walking through the woods near his house, chicka chicka bow wow, an alien woman. Come on, can I get a little background music? Chicka chicka bow. No.
Bow chicka wow wow.
An alien woman appeared and seduced. How would aliens seduce him?
Okay, so if this
Wait,
is
wait.
during the free
I'm
love
reading it.
movement,
Come touch my Tic Tac nipples.
Hold on. Tic Tac nipples.
Sure.
I'm gonna save that one for a rainy day. I was sitting down in a chair, and the woman Crescent, that's a weird name for an alien, was behind me, and she put her arms around me, and that's about it. I don't know anything outside of that.
Then how does he know that he...
Was seduced. They could have just
Load.
knocked you out, man.
I know. I thought if anything... hold on. I thought if anything, I'd be losing it in the back seat of a Ford, something like that, but it didn't work out that way. He says in the film.
Alright, this guy's tripping on too much LSD.
So,
I think this is what that is. He's
but it
having
was
a happy
8.
trip, and when that's happening, he's painting. Or does he paint after?
Oh my god.
So he has the experience and then he wakes up and paints it?
God, it's one of those things that drew filmmaker Brad Adams to track Huggins down in Hoboken, New Jersey. Well, that place is full of toxic waste, where he lives now. Abrahams heard Huggins' story on a podcast about UFOs and the paranormal. Maybe they'll do something about us. In a sea, God, if they're doing love and saucers, maybe they'll do something on me with my Tic Tac nipples.
Oh,
In a sea of outlandish claims, there was one that rose to the surface, he said. And that was Davis' story. Because butt humping an alien in the middle of a forest, that's got to rise right to the top, you know?
I feel like aliens. Who has the Tic Tac nipples? Are you
Apparently,
talking about him?
Zippo.
Who doesn't have Tic Tac
No,
nipples?
I think aliens have saucer nipples.
Okay, I could buy that. Like little donut nipples.
Hence why I thought that picture you're showing me was like big giant. I didn't know they were eyes.
Well, I mean, there's a photo here of like the alien woman. I guess her name is Cricket, holding her jugs. And
It's funny though because it looks exactly like a human with like a
mask.
1975 Kiss presentation,
Oh my
like
God, it
Paul
looks like-
Stanley.
Yeah.
looks like Gene Simmons.
Maybe Gene Simmons gained some weight and seduced him in the forest because it looks like Gene Simmons
Can
holding
we
her.
just talk about one of the quotes in the article, though?
Please, I want to.
She was on top of me. I reached my climax, and then she and the insect being leave. What insect being?
Where did the insect being go? Like,
Right, like I want to see paintings of that. Like, what did it look like?
oh, I'm sure there's a painting somewhere. Oh my God, I gotta. We're gonna find this movie, and I'm going to review it.
There's a trailer in the article.
Yeah, so we'll definitely link to it, to not only that, but
Sounds good.
to the other article as well. So
Real good.
holy crap, people are weird.
To be continued.
But I love them. Makes
So-
life interesting.
To wrap everything up, this dude was humping aliens. That's it. That wraps everything up. But yeah, everything will be on Midnight Hollow. You can click on a bunch of links, read some stuff, further stuff, and of course, you can always contact us through the website if you have questions about this. I'm sure that I won't answer them. Sizzle, what's your name again?
Simmer.
Sazzle,
Whatever,
Sazzle,
Whatever,
God.
dude.
and
I think I
DishyDo.
need to change DishyDo. It sounds a little like
We'll figure it out.
anime character or
We'll
something.
let
I
it
don't know.
simmer.
I know it sounds like you're a housewife or something.
DishyDo.
I got to
don't
do the
like it.
dishes. DishyDo's.
I don't like Mushu either. That's a little.
Just reminds me of Eddie Murphy.
Mine's easy. Jay Zippo.
I just want to be
JayZippo.com.
JB.
MidnightHollow.com.
I
Who?
like JB.
JB.
Just
That's
use
the
my
guy that
initials.
does the NFL Network stuff. So
Okay.
be weird. And you're not big and black. The viewers at home, you didn't see that.
Okay.
So again, Elyse Lam, whatever her name is. It's
Elyse Lam. Yeah.
really weird stuff. Take a look at it, and
Feel bad,
we'll have
but-
all the links to the other articles on the website.
I feel so bad what happened to her. It's so unfortunate.
It is.
Yeah, can we just bring it full circle and just say that she was a real person. She had a family.
Mm-hmm.
She was a good student. Like, it is extremely unfortunate. And,
It's a tragedy.
you know,
And that's
It's sad.
maybe why it
to
makes
her-
it that much more interesting.
And to her family, we are sincerely sorry for your loss.
All right, so for that, we're gonna wrap up here.
real genuine right there.
Wrap
What?
up here.
That was real genuine. That face, that facial expression. She was like,
Listen,
You do know they can't see that,
I
right?
think I'm supposed to say that.
All right,
I
so
love
with
it.
that,
No, I love
before
it.
they start throwing down, for DishyDo, Stimmer, Shimmer, Glimmer,
Shimmer? Okay.
Glamour, and Jay Zippo, why don't you Midnight Hollow so you don't get rickrolled?